So, this one's just a quick video today. I'm going to do the Birthstone's book tag, who I can't remember the original creator of it, but I will leave it below. And so if I look this way, I'm just looking at my laptop. So let's just start this Birthstone tag. First one is January, which is Garnet, associated with warding off negative forces and dark energies. Name a book with the darkest or evilest character you can think of. I went with the Fire Chief from Fahrenheit 451. I have never hated a character quicker than I did in this book. As soon as I met the Fire Chief, he was one of the biggest... he is definitely one of my most hated book characters. And not without reason. Fahrenheit 451 is a post-apocalyptic, post-apocalyptic future where reading and books are banned. It actually wasn't that bad. It was actually a pretty good book, although I did audiobook it, so I might have had a different feeling if I read it. Anyway, moving on. February is Amethyst. Purple is associated with royalty. Name a book with regal qualities. You can base this off of characters or choose the king of all books. I went with the Chronicles of Narnia for many reasons. There's a lot of regal characters in this. All four. Everyone who goes to Narnia usually ends up being royalty. And of course there's Aslan, who's the king of Narnia. And it's too hard to go into what each individual story of the Chronicles of Narnia is about, so I'll just leave that linked below and you can look that up yourself. Okay, the next one is March is Aquamarine. Washed out. Name a wishy-washy character. A character who is not strong or a follower. I didn't get that book down, but I'm going to go with Ron Weasley from Harry Potter. And I'm going to move on from that. I'm not going to go into that, but I'm including him in this. Next one is April, which is Diamond. A Diamond in the Rough. Name a book that you loved but is not too well known. And I went with Tomorrow When the War Began. I read this back in June for whatever-a-thon. And it's a very underrated book. It's by an Australian author. Pretty much war is declared on this small Australian town, and the only people who aren't kidnapped in the war are people who were hidden away on a camping trip at the time. So by default they didn't get trapped, and now they have to fight for their town. So I highly recommend this book. The next one is May, or Emerald, which is said to balance energy. Name two characters who balance each other well. I'm going to go with Charlie and Sam from The Perks of Being a Wallflower. They balance each other out quite well in this book. Perks of Being a Wallflower is a contemporary book starring a guy named Charlie, and it's pretty much just him writing letters to an anonymous friend telling him about his life. And I quite enjoyed this. The next one is June, which is Pearl, associated with loyalty. Name a character who's loyal to the end. Again, I'm going to go with the Perks of Being a Wallflower, but I'm going to go with Patrick, who is Charlie's best friend and just sticks by his side even no matter what happens in Charlie's story. So I'm going to go into that book again. We'll move on. Next is July, which is Ruby and my Birthstone. Blood Red. Name a book that made your blood boil, or one that made you angry. I'm gonna go with The Hate You Give. My god, the amount of hate I felt for characters in this book. And it's definitely related to current events with the Black Lives Matter, but my god, the prejudice in the bigotry in this book is wow. Okay. Next is August, which is Peridot. Pale green. It pales in comparison to other gems. Name a supporting character who you like better than the main character. This is an easy one. I don't own this book anymore because I hated it. Isabel Lightwood or Magnus Bane, both from the City of Bones. If she had made either than the main character, I would have loved this book. Don't even know how to describe what it's about because I don't like it, but again, I'll link it below. Okay, next one is September, which is Sapphire. Blue like the ocean, which is calming. Name a book that had a calming effect on you. I went with You Should See Me in a Crown. This book just brought me happiness when I read it. This is a sapphic book. It's about this girl, Liz. She wants to go to college. She loses her scholarship, and then she realizes if she wins prom queen, then she can get her. Then she gets a scholarship. It's a very cute read. It's a quick read, and I recommend it highly. Okay, the next question is October, Opal. This is iridescent. Name an iridescent book. This can be a book with a beautiful cover, or you can base it off a character. I went with the shiniest and most iridescent book on my shelf, and that is Fateful by Claudia Gray. And look at that. It's definitely iridescent. This book, the easiest way to describe this is it's basically the story of Titanic with werewolves. So don't really need to say more than that. Okay, next is November, which is Topaz, associated with resilience. Name a book with a character who rises to the top at a time of adversity. I went with My Boy Percy Jackson by Rick Riordan. He doesn't want to be leader, but he knows he has to. And for anyone who doesn't know these stories, all the kids are children of Greek gods, and they've been sent to this camp to learn how to be a kid of a Greek god, and they end up going on a quest in almost every book, whether intentional or not. And the final question is December, which is Blue Zirconian. I don't know how to pronounce it. Associated with friendship. Name a book with a friendship you want to be a part of. Gotta go with The Sister of the Traveling Pants. These four are the best friend groups that I've ever read about in a book. And yeah, it's about I'll just use the tagline to describe what this is about. 4 very different friends, one pair of special pants, and a summer apart. So basically, these 4 friends have been inseparable since birth. They're going their separate ways for the first time, and they find a pair of jeans that bonds them during this time. And I would love to be a part of this friendship group. Anyway, that was pretty much it for this tag. Yeah, I know it's not much, but I just wanted to do these little tags in between bigger videos, because I don't like bringing out videos I'm not proud of. And again, I'll link everything below, and catch you later.